All right, so good morning. For all of you that are out there in YouTube land that are waiting for a broadcast today, I am going to be working on Sermonaudio. I'm going to be working on it today here. So we should have a 2 p.m. Central Time broadcast from Sermonaudio on there today. Okay, so that shouldn't be a problem. It should be on there sometime today, or live, at 2 p.m. So shouldn't be an issue at all. We should have it there today, and I'm looking forward to that. So let's see. I'm not sure how those notices work. I'm going to try to put a link and see if Luke can put a link in there on YouTube to let people know that we are live on Sermonaudio. I'm thinking we'll be able to do that. And then you'll be prepared for that. You can see that. You can look at our YouTube. And then, boom, you could go automatically over to Sermonaudio. And you can stream live from Sermonaudio. I don't think you have to have any special passwords or anything like that to do that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've looked at that. But anyway, I'm going to be working on that today here. We'll be working on that a few hours before, and we'll get it straight. We'll figure out what we have to do. We'll figure out how to get it all taken care of there. If that doesn't work for some reason, I might stream live from my Facebook page. I will use my public Facebook page. I think it's Jason Lee Cooley is my public Facebook page, or I could use Opbc Online's public page. Either way, I could use either one of those, but I could let you know. So if you're not friends with that, go to Opbc Online and hit like there, and go to Jason Lee Cooley and send a friend request there, or just like that page. That's a public page. And then go to my personal Facebook page as well, and you can send me a message there, or whatever, or like that there would be fine. So anyway, keep in touch with me. Keep paying attention to everything, and we'll get all this online stuff taken care of here. Either way, I'll be broadcasting and uploading today a broadcast. I don't know how I'll do it yet. Sermonaudio should work fine, but if it doesn't for some reason, I'll use Facebook. And if all else fails and that doesn't work, well, then I'll just record a 2-hour broadcast and I'll upload it. Either way, it'll get done. It'll smack the devil in the face because he hates the work of the Lord, and he hates the gospel going out, and he hates the truth going out, just like his little minions do out there that are trying to stop the work of the ministry. But it never works. It always backfires on them. Every time Satan attacks the saints of God, it always backfires. Even if it's little men in Texas named Jonathan that think that they can stop the work of the Lord. Even people like that, who, by the way, isn't even man enough to answer an email. How pathetic is that? You act like a tough guy in the shadows, do all this nonsense, and then you're not even man enough to answer an email. How pathetic. You have to understand something about people like that. Number one, they're led by Satan. So, being led by Satan is a coward. And the only way this same person used pictures of like Spurgeon and my face, put them together, started little Facebook things, and did little things and told me to stop preaching on the charismatic movement, and sent me like a ton of emails telling me to stop preaching on the charismatic movement, and you can do this, but you can't do that. First of all, you little squirt, you don't tell me what to do. I do what God called me to do. You may scare people around you back in the backwoods of Texas somewhere, but real men aren't afraid of little weasels that hide in the dark. Okay? You see, God's men are fearless, and they stand up and they do what they have to do no matter what the opposition is. because they do it by the Spirit of God. I know you don't know anything about that because you're lost and on your way to hell. You're one of the worst kinds of religious devils that are out there, possessed by those devils like Simon the Sorcerer. So we understand that. And yes, I am being very specific here. And I am talking about Jonathan in Texas. And I'm doing that on purpose because he's the one that attacked the Lord's work. He's the one that is the minister of Satan. That's what he is. And that's why they don't respond. And he's playing a game. Because, see, he knows that the response thing with YouTube is like a 10-day thing. So it can keep my video, me from streaming for like 10 days. And that's the only power that little runt has. So once his lies are proven, though, I'm going to do whatever I can in a counteraction. But that'll be later. But anyway, so illegal counteraction, that is. Let me clarify that to make sure. Little weasels like to use your words and twist them up. So anyway, him and his devil-possessed, satanic, charismatic friends, they don't like preachers like me because God uses us and Satan uses them. So we are in opposition one to another, which makes sense. So they have to hide in the shadows and play their little games and do their little things because they can't face you man to man. They are cowards, and they can harass women and children. They do that online. Some of these jokers have attacked a family and online, and they've went after that family, and they've like scared them and everything else like that. But I'm a servant of the Lord. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of their games. I know what God's going to do, that he's going to deal with them. And I know that they're not man enough to face me. They're not. Just like all of the attacks of Satan that have happened to this ministry and the work of the Lord. They're not man enough to go one-on-one. That's not how they work. They work in the shadows, and they play their little games. But the Lord knows those that are his. Amen? So God will take care of us, and we'll be just fine, just like we always have been, by God's grace. And we'll continue on and do the work of the ministry that God has called us to do. So what I want you to do is pay attention to sermonaudio.com/Pastor Cooley. I will probably send an email out to everybody who sent me their email address that would like to make sure that they have a... Because before, when Facebook or when YouTube wasn't alerting people, I would email everybody and let them know. I'll probably do the same. I have that list still, and I'll probably do the same. But just pay attention, 2 p.m. Central Time. Pay attention. And if you're waiting for the broadcast, if you'd like to see it, then it'll be on there, Lord willing. We'll get it all taken care of. And as for the others out there that are haters, that are playing games, God will deal with you. He will. God doesn't like it when you interfere with his work. He'll deal with you. I promise you, by God's holy grace and by his word, that he will deal with you. You made things worse for yourself by standing up against the Lord and his work. Because when you fight the gospel, when you fight the Lord's work, and you defend charismatic devils, it shows what spirit you're of. And some of you out there don't like me talking like this. I had like 6 thumbs down, which is probably Jonathan's 400 different personalities that he has out there. It's probably him. Probably him. Probably his 400 different personalities that he has out there. But either way, you may not like that, but God's men speak bold and they do things for the Lord, and they stand up and they do what's right. So anyway, just so you know, that's what's going on. I'm still here doing what God's called me to do, like I have every day since He called me to do it by His grace, continuing on in the faith. Bolder and more confident in God than I was 2 days ago, when some little lion, weasel, devil tried to stop the work of the Lord. Amen.